Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, September 24th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. I am your hostess today, Miss Stevie, the creator of this show. And ladies, don't we have something very, very, very special for you guys today? I'm super excited about today's guest. It is Friday, and ladies, we need a day to ourselves. So, Johnny will be joining me at 4 p.m. with our very special guest, Jam. So, make sure you guys tune in for that. But for now, ladies, we got something very, very special for y'all. Joining us today, we have one of the dancers from Chippendales. Oh, yes, Diddy, aka Okewa. Garrett will be joining us today, making sure that I got his name right. Didn't want to mix it up. Let me go on ahead and send him this live so that we can get into it, Fashion Dolls. I'm super excited. We are going to have some fun. It's been a hectic week for all of us. There's been so much going on. So today we're going to go on ahead and share this live to him, let him know that we are on. I'm super amped up and excited about this interview. Hey, Bryce. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Rainey, who was guest co-hosting with me. But ladies, we got something very, very special for y'all today. So make sure that y'all are tuned in. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the dancers from Chippendales. Okewa Garrett is going to be joining us. He's Mr. September right here. No, wait a minute. Right there. So we're going to have some fun. And the shirt might even come off. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Okewa Garrett. Welcome, welcome.
Thank
Welcome to the dollhouse.
thank you for having me on the dollhouse. This is incredible.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so honored to have you here. I'm looking at you on my wall over there, and I'm looking at you right here on the poster as well, too.
That's
So,
that's incredible.
yes, welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, Okewa Garrett. So tell us where you're from, where you originated from.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody was calling me. I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I studied dance at the High School for the Creative and Performing Arts in Philly. And then I didn't go too far to continue my studies of dance as well in Philadelphia at the University of the Arts, which is right down the street from my high school. So I did my years there at University of the Arts and studied ballet performance and education. And I just took my talents to Los Angeles. After dancing in dance companies in Philly, I took my talents to Los Angeles and I began to dance commercially with different music artists, Beyonce, J-Lo, Kelly Rowland, Monica, toured with Trey Songz, Chris Brown, T-Pain, Tyga, did some work with Luke James. So, just kind of furthered that career on in my commercial career in LA. And then I got an opportunity here in Las Vegas to be in a show that's no longer here on the Strip. It's called Jubilee. And I got that opportunity to perform in that show. I did 10 months in that show. And then I went on to perform with Chippendale.
All right. And it's funny you mentioned Beyonce. I know you can see her right here on my
Yes,
right shoulder. She's all over me.
I
And
see. I love it.
yes, and she's on the cover of Papa's Bazaar, so make sure y'all go and pick up the icon issue. She looks stunning.
That's
I wish she
incredible.
would have came to the Met Ball, but it's not about Queen Bee right now. It's Okewa, ladies. It's Ladies' Day. It's not Ladies' Night, so let's misbehave.
What's
All right.
going on, ladies? How we doing? I hope y'all tapping in. Tap in. This is a hell of a
Yes,
platform.
and I see my girl right there, Stephanie. Shout outs to her, the Bomb Lashes, Black owned business. We're all about supporting Black owned businesses. And speaking of Black owned businesses, you've joined Chippendale. So tell us, how did this come about?
So, Chippendales came about in a really interesting way. So, Chippendales is the flagship show here in Las Vegas. They also have a tour that goes not only around the United States but all around the world. And I got the opportunity to dance with Chippendales through another show that they
We are we good, y'all?
There we go.
All right, we're back. You were saying?
Shout outs to my mom too. She just tapped in.
Hi, mom.
So so Chippendales had created a new production called 53X. And it was the same aesthetic as Chippendales. It was kind of like a burlesque style show. But it had four guys and four girls. And we had the famous drag queen, RuPaul's Drag Race star, as our host, Shangela. And we ran that show for about, I want to say we ran that show for about 10 months as well, 10 to 11 months. So once that show closed, the Chippendales company asked me if I wanted to stay on, on board and a part of the company. And I said, definitely, definitely. I've been trying to get over here anyway. So I would love to stay on board with the company. And that was it. That was all she wrote. And I became, an official Chippendales performer.
All right, all right. And I've seen some of the clips from the Thunder Down Under and so many other of you guys' shows, and y'all are bringing it. Y'all have brought us some happiness. Y'all have brought women, for myself as a woman, y'all have brought us some happiness
Indeed.
because we've been sitting up in the house during this pandemic going crazy. And what I love about it is you guys also do virtual shows. So you can invite your girlfriends on and you guys give us virtual shows like that. That's what I love about this company. It's about bringing people happiness, regardless of whatever it is. So my
Absolutely.
next question for you is outside of dance, outside of doing, working with these artists that you've named in the beginning of the interview, what brings Okewa happiness? What do you like to do when you're off the scenes, when it's just like, it's your downtime?
Wow. Good. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Um, what does Okewa like to do? Okay. Okewa loves to kind of be spontaneous here and there, in a very positive way. I kind of just like to get up and whatever I feel like doing on days off or on, free time. I just kind of get up and do that. I'll take myself out to eat. I'll go, shop or, I also do a lot of religious work as well. I'm a priest in my religion, so I help out a lot of people within that. I'm also an initiated drummer, so I play Afro-Cuban drums as well, and I'm a singer. So I devote a lot of time to my cultural practices throughout the week. I mean, throughout the months and the year. You know what I mean? I stay really, really busy. I stay really busy with that.
I see another one of my girlfriends in here. Yes, you came for this show today, girl. Shout out to my girlfriend Felicia. In the audience watching. Um, Outside of this, how do you find that balance? Like, um, I asked a lot of my guests that question. I asked Vanessa Williams that question, and a lot of people said if you could interview anybody, I would say Taraji P. Henson. And I've seen her in an interview, and she says juggling it, being a mother, and having you said you do music as well too, and dance. Like, how do you find that balance of doing all of these things and then working within your community as well too?
You know what's crazy? It's actually very interesting because a lot of people. I'm once again, I travel a lot too to do my religious work and things like that. So it's like it's crazy because when you live a life like that, when you live such a busy life or such a on the go life, you have to find balance. And I actually, it's funny. I don't think it's as hard as people who are busy like us. I don't think it's as hard as others make it seem. You know what I mean? I think we actually do a really really good job at finding that balance because we have to. Then we also got to find balance to rest. You know what I mean? And just take that time, take that downtime, and take that time off. So I think it's a really cool aesthetic on how we do that and where we find the time to do that. In which I'm very big on my rest and I'm very big on my downtime because I'm such on the go all the time. I'm like I gotta have a moment where I don't do anything. Or I gotta have a day where I devote my time to this. Okay, I'm not gonna devote my time to this today. This is more important. I gotta go here. You know what I mean? So we find it and we do a really, really good job at finding that. There we go.
We paused for a second. I said, I love what you just said about balance, about, having to give yourself rest. I know because for me and most women, we have the drive to just keep going like that. So I remember I did a show with a whole sinus infection, and
Wow.
it was one of the most worstest thing. I had to smile and be pretty and all of this stuff.
Right, right.
But the next few days, I started to feel it. So please listen out. And I'm as well too, because I've had to talk to my friends, and my friends would be like, "You're always on the go. You're always going. Like, do you ever sleep?" I'm just like, I have to make sure that this is done and this is done and this is done. So it's just like, okay, I have to find sleep in between, or take what's called, what we always call, a power nap, and then
Absolutely.
get back up and rejuvenate throughout the day. But please, self care, we talk a lot about that. Self care is something we definitely have to do. So make sure you're
And I
taking
think
time for yourself.
I think one of those aspects that really helped me find that really helped me find that sense of balance was being on tour with the different artists that I used to dance for, as well as being on tour with Chippendales. Once again, as a group, as a company, we're so on the go. You live in life pretty much on a tour bus hotel, tour bus hotel. So living life on the go. How do I find the balance to you know, get my ass up and go to the gym that day and go, make sure I'm still eating my meals correctly and eating the right food and this and that and that and this. And I think having that aspect of responsibility and accountability it really allows me to find it in my regular life.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's with all of us. We all have to make sure that we're doing that. Even with my mom, she's a Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio. Um, she's the type of person, she likes to keep going. And I guess I've inherited that trait from her, where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
mama, you're doing too much now. So let me slow down, regroup, and re strategize. But we know how our moms are. Our moms are the type of women, they just very persistent. They love to
Oh
keep
yeah.
going. They love things to be in order and orderly, even when it comes to the house.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
everything has to be in order, spick and span, tidy up here, let me tidy up over here. Like, that's my mom. That's the spirit. That's the energy. So I picked that up from her. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I got that. I think I got that. Excuse me. I got that from my mom, but I also got that from my grandmother. My grandmom and my grandfather had 7 children. They had seven
Wow.
children. So to to really balance that, and my grandparents were school teachers, so they had they had a life of their own around other children. You know what I mean? So like to not only balance your children, but to also go and balance somebody else's, children. They juggling a lot, and then having to be a mom and a dad. So I really got that aspect of like that hard work ethic from my family. But I think I got to credit that to my grandmother.
And that's for all the grandmothers out there, for all the parents out here. I know it's been difficult with a lot of them having to homeschool the babies and stuff like
Yeah,
that virtually.
yeah,
It's difficult. You having to tap back into that noggin, and things that you've never thought about in years, you have to
facts,
go about and help the kids with. So,
facts, facts.
ooh, it's a lot.
It was a hell
So
of a year. I felt for the parents. I felt for the kids. I felt for the teachers. I was like, wow, man, this is good. This is a the new normal, I guess, if we call it that. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand what you're saying.
absolutely. So this part, we were talking about balance, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just coming in on our interview, now we're about to get a little hot up in here.
Uh-oh.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask for the shirt to come off.
Oh, for the shirt to come off. So
Oh yes, Lord.
unfortunately, I didn't plan for my shirt to be off. I'm not shaved. I ain't waxed. I don't got. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry.
But we can see the guns. We can see the guns, ladies.
You
Yes,
know,
Lord.
those are
And
always
he's on
there.
the calendar. So make sure you go and pick up your calendar. He is Mr. I call him Mr. September because he is for the month of September.
That's right.
And my birthday month is slowly approaching next month. So I'll be 28. My 28th is coming up. I'm super excited about that.
That's
I'm just like,
incredible.
Lord Jesus, I need to buy boxes. I need to buy
And and we're back.
I need to go ahead and buy me a box of Dark and Lovely right now, cause Lord Jesus, up underneath this unit, is some grays up under there somewhere.
That's wisdom. That's wisdom, though.
And let's talk about that wisdom, because a lot of people feel as though, oh my God, I know my sister cried when she turned 30. It's such, for me, it's such a huge milestone, but I think my sister's starting to rub off on me a little bit too,
Okay.
because growing older, some people look at it as, oh my God, I'm getting old, but it's just, for me, it's another year wiser. But for me, I'm kind of scared. It's such a big milestone, because as you go into an adult, you see things in a different light than you would in your teenage years. Because I know when I was 16, 19, I was a hothead. I wanted to fight. I thought I could fight everybody.
Right.
But I'm just like, now 28, seeing 28 into my adulthood, it's a completely different mindset. It's just like, okay, girlfriend, your mama is not going to be there to pet you up and give you the pep talk that you would get in your teenage years.
Right.
So you have to see things in a different light. What wisdom or advice would you impart into your followers that support you 100%? Because I know everybody needs just a piece of wisdom to help them along the way.
100%. You know, that's I had that conversation with a group of friends a couple of days ago, and I was mentioning to them that I don't mind getting older. You know, I'm 33 years old. Um, I'm probably in certain aspects of my life the happiest I've ever been. Um, I look forward to getting older. I look forward to, you know, aging well and aging gracefully, as we tend to do. Um, and I look forward to just continuing like my journey of learning. You know, as you get older, you start to look back, like, you know, 32 was different than 33. You know, 32 was different than 31. You know what I mean? Only a year apart, which isn't much time, but that's years of different mindset, different learning, different experiences, different opportunities you had. You know what I mean? I was doing different things at those ages. So where I am now, I really enjoy it, because I think also as you get older, people start to look at you as a voice, and people start to look at you as somebody that they can go to get honest answers or advice, encouragement, upliftment. You know what I'm saying? Because of what we've experienced from 18 to now. You know what I mean? So I always tell, I was telling the homies, I was like, listen, I'm not afraid to get older. I'm not afraid to get older. You know, unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, I lost a friend to gun violence in Philadelphia. And
Sorry.
yeah, and you know, his birthday is a week after mine, and we're both the same age, and we grew up together, and really good friend of mine. And he's not going to get that chance to see 34. He's not going to get that chance to see 30. He's not going to get that chance to see his grandchildren. When and if that happens, you know. So that's a very unfortunate situation, number one. But number two, live your life. You know what I mean? Live your life. Don't be afraid to get older. There's a lot of people that physically can't celebrate their 30 whatever birthday. You know what I mean? So I tell people to embrace that, man. Embrace that. You know what I mean? It's a happy time in your life, because God has granted you another year, another moment to touch your feet to the earth and celebrate, you know, what's needed to be celebrated. So that's what I would tell my followers.
Absolutely. And I love what you just said about that as well too. So many people have lost loved ones to this pandemic, lost their moms, lost their grandmothers, lost their brothers, their sisters. It's just been so, I would have to say 2020 to now 2021 has been a emotional roller coaster.
Very much
We've been
so.
through it.
Very much so.
And I'm surprised that we're still here, still going. To the ones that are still alive and still here, I'm the type of person, I love to live life vicarious. Hi, K Tooks. Shout outs to my brother. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Amazing content creators. Again, BOB, support black owned businesses. But we're
That's right.
talking about just life and living vicariously, growing older with age. That's what we're talking about now, wisdom, if you're just coming in. So now we're going to move into a lighter topic, and then we're going to do a game with
Here we go.
And we're back. I was saying it's a game called the Rapid Five where you have to tell me five things you can't live without. And then we're going to turn the tables. So Miss Stevie gets put in the hot seat. So Okewa gets to ask me some questions and nothing is off limits. My heart is beating so fast. It always does when this segment comes around. So, music. You said in the beginning of the interview you do music as well. Tell me who are some of your musical influences and what does music mean to you?
Man, oh my God, that my musical influence. I'll be here. I'm a because of time. I'm gonna have to consolidate that. But but okay. So before I get into my music influences, as a dancer, um, we're trained to hear and listen to everything, right? So I love pretty much all genres of music. If it's a bop, if it's slapping, I'm listening to it. I love it. Um, man. You know what? This might blow your mind a little bit, and this might blow some of the viewers' mind right now. But I'm gonna just go for it, man. I'm a huge Peter Gabriel fan. I'm a huge Phil Collins and Genesis fan. Um, I'm going outside the box right now. Um, I like all of that. Like on my Pandora, I have a Phil Collins station that plays all of that stuff. The Police, Van Halen, Genesis, Prince. So I'm a big fan of like that 80s synth pop type music. And then I'm a huge R&B fan. I'm a huge R&B fan. Huge. My favorite R&B group is Jodeci. Um, and I feel like, if I was this age back in the 90s, I would have been the fifth member. um, Hip hop, my favorite group is Bone Thugs and Harmony. And then, you know, your Biggie, Jay, Pac, Meek Mill, uh, and my all-time favorite, Nipsey Hussle, as well as Rick Ross. Nipsey Hussle. I got to put Nipsey at number one.
You got a very eclectic range of music. I would have never thought. I would have thought you would jump straight to the R&B and hip hop. But you kind of remind me when you did that. You kind of remind me so much of Mike from 112 because,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, he says he likes opera music. This is
Mm-hmm.
no joke. When we
Yup.
did our interview, he said he also likes rock, heavy metal as well too. So
Oh, yeah.
everybody has an eclectic sound in their own sound when it comes to hearing musical instruments or just Coco from
I love gospel music,
SWV.
too.
Gospel, okay. Who's some of
Oh,
your
yeah.
gospel favorites?
Oh, man. You got to give it to Kirk Franklin, just as a creator and as a producer. His range is just incredible so far as what he does and what he's done for people. Um, man, one of my actual favorite gospel groups from back in the day is the Commission. Them boys was bad. Take Seven, um, the Clark sisters. Uh, Jeff Majors. Donnie McClurkin.
Mm.
Um, Frankie Norfolk. You know, just I had a solo in high school that actually won me. It won me a few awards and scholarships to Frankie Norfolk's "I Need You Now." So that song will always be in my heart. That song always has a special spot in my heart and in my mind. And it's funny when I hear that song, I gotta turn it off sometimes because I start going there.
Yolanda Adams is one of my favorites. I love Mahalia Jackson. So when it comes to
The
that type
greats.
of music for me, it's always that. Yolanda Adams has a song called I can't remember it. I think it's called "This Too Shall Pass,"
Yup,
and then the other one is called "The Battle Is Not Yours."
that's
That's one
right.
of my favorites. That one keeps me going throughout the day. Tamala Man is another one of my favorites. Like I turn on "Take Me to the King" and these lashes will come off and the tears will start to flow. Um, it does something to me. Like gospel music is supposed to put you in a place where you're at ease. Like you know that God is going to handle everything. You know,
Yeah.
not just on Sundays, but people listen to it in their car Donnie McKirkland. You put on any type of gospel music. I know my mom, for me, her favorite was Ranch Allen. That's
Oh
God bless his
man,
soul.
whoo, you talking about range, you talking about skill, and like not even that. And what also, man, that's crazy that you bring that up. Because also what people don't realize that Rance Allen could control a room. He can
Mm.
control a room. And to just be there, I mean, he had three other guys behind him. But just to be like him as the focal point, Rance Allen, may he rest in peace, man, was incredible. Incredible.
Yes, just like Mahalia Jackson, their music leaves you floored.
Oh yeah.
And another person who had that effect on people, she can do gospel or R&B, was Whitney Houston. Whitney
Oh
Houston.
yeah. The great.
It is something about that woman's voice. Whenever she gets on stage, she can sell out an arena. And whenever she walks out, you leave the concert with goosebumps. Like literally, she had that
Man.
effect on people. Patti LaBelle is another one as well too. So when we talk about music greats, this is who I think about when we talk about the gospel and the R&B aspect of it. You know, and you've mentioned Prince as well, so we can't forget
And
about
it's
him or Michael Jackson.
oh, and Michael Jackson. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, Michael's in a. I mean, I gotta put Michael in a category of his own. You know what I mean? To put him in the top five is not, to me, is not fair. He goes by himself just for the influence that he had on me so far as the art form is concerned, so far as dance. Um, I also one of my all time favorite back in the day groups is the Zap Band, Roger Troutman. Like incredible, man, incredible. Just before their time, and the music is timeless. The music is timeless. Shit, man, we could talk about Frankie Beverly and Maze. We could talk about like barbecue music. You know what I mean? Incredible, man, incredible. I get on the music topic and I just start going.
I see where a lot of your influences are from. So this is definitely going to be into your music. Now, how would you describe what this music mean to you? Because we just went through a list of greats. It's so many that Gladys Knight. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Oh my God, man. I mean, it for me. So I do more Afro-Cuban cultural music, which we call them oriki, or sacred prayers. And the music that we sing and that we play is you got to be ready to hear it. You got to be ready to hear it. It's one of those things that it'll give you chills. It'll give you chills, and you got to be at the right place at the right time listening to it. It can take you there. It can take you there, and those drums can take you there. It's when that's the only thing in the room. Minus the singing, making the music. It's only three drums, but when that's all put together, it's a sight to see and it's a sight to hear.
Absolutely. Music does something to you. It moves you, it motivates you, and it captivates you. It captivates the heart. That's how it's supposed to be. All
Absolutely.
right, fashion dolls. It is about that time. Now Okiwa has to tell us 5 things he can't live without, and then we're going to do the turn the table segment that you guys have been waiting for.
Uh-oh, here we go. Here we go.
5 things you can't live without.
5 things I can't live without: my car, money, food, my family, and television.
All right. That's it. Straight to the point, ladies and gentlemen.
There
All
we go.
right. You guys know what time it is. My heart is beating so fast.
I was
Um,
thinking about what I was gonna say too. I'm like, I gotta pick another one.
okay. Um, it is time to turn these tables, ladies and gentlemen. And our guest here today, Okiwa, has to ask me questions. So I don't know what he's going to ask, but I'm going to hand it on over to him. It is so different to have my guest turn the tables on me and ask me questions. Uh-oh. We're back.
Here we
All
go.
right. So, Okiwa, you go ahead and ask me some questions. It is time to turn these tables, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he's going to ask. So let's go.
All right, here we go. If you could have any other profession, if you could do any other profession for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It will be to be a fashion designer.
Mm.
I love fashion. I love just looking at nature. I feel as though nature and just pictures and art go hand in hand with fashion.
Mm.
So even with me, if you guys take a look back at some of my shows when I first started, I would always experiment with different things, you know.
Yep.
But I definitely would love to do fashion designing.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. I'm actually very into fashion too. I love to dress. I think I have a problem. Like, I think I have an issue. I need to probably like, if they had like AA meetings for like people who buy too many clothes, I'd be in there.
I'm looking at my closet now when you said that.
All right, question number 2. If you had $1 million and could splurge it on one thing that you didn't need, what would you purchase?
Ooh, I'm always buying things for myself, so I would probably give it to my mom. I would probably give it to my mom or get her something special. I would probably get her a ring from Harry Winston. My
Wow.
mom loves jewelry. She loves jewelry down, whether it's vintage, antique. So I'm selfless. I would give it away. I would probably, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, do you want a Celine bag or do you want to give it to your mom? I'm always, I'm
Wow.
always buying for my mom. So I would give her something special. That's
That,
what I would do with it.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. If you drink alcohol, what is your favorite alcohol to drink?
I'm a chill type of girl. I love a glass of wine. I love a glass of wine. They said, "Oh my God, I need to take a wine and dine." So I like red wine.
Awesome. Um, oh, all right. So this is an interesting one. I hate to change the mood a little bit, but I'm gonna ask it. What are your political views?
Oh, yes. And I speak a lot about that on my show. I know you've seen some of my previous episodes.
Yes.
Um, I'm always fighting for us, for people of color, for black people. When I created this platform, I said I
Mm,
wanted to be the black voice for not just black women, but black people as a whole, whether it's LGBT people, black people, the disabled. I want all of us to have a voice. So my
mm,
political views, um, y'all know how I feel about Trump.
mm, mm,
Y'all know how I feel about him. Um, I'm always speaking out on injustice.
mm.
I know that for us as black people, as people of color, we're the most oppressed. It's been going on for 400 years. So I'm always speaking up on that. When it comes to my political views, um, I'm definitely not going to be like a Candace Owens. I went in yesterday. I know y'all seen the clip, but um, I would have to say progressive. I would have to say progressive
Okay.
because, I hold both sides accountable, whether it's Democrat or Republican. So I would have to say progressive. I'm in between, call out both sides. One side is not doing something right. So we all can find a way to come in between in the middle and work something out together, you
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, I got one more. If you could go back in time at any age, what would you tell yourself?
And I would have to say at 14 years old, I would have to say, be ready for what's coming your way. You're going to have people that are going to be out here that are going to be against you. You need to humble yourself. And I know that as you grow in this industry, a lot of people get such a big head, Nicki Minaj. Um, but I had to throw a little shade. I'm sorry, y'all.
I didn't hear
Um,
that. I didn't hear that.
Humble yourself. You've got so much in store for you.
Mhm.
Um, you've got so much in line for you. You're going to be going so many places. There's no need to be so angry. There is no need to want to fight everybody. Not everybody is against you because at that age, I was like I was bullied a lot in high school. That would have been high school, middle school. So I was bullied a lot. I always had to keep a guard up. But I'm just like, now let the
Mhm.
guard, know, rah rah. You don't have to be that way. You don't have to be. I thought we were going to pause for a minute. You don't have to be guarded. That's the word I was looking for.
Mm.
Because we know how Scorpios are. We have that quick temper, and it's like we turn it on, we turn it off, that switch.
Yeah.
But now that I've grown into my adulthood, I'm just sort of mellow. Now, I can be petty every now and again. And I know Tony Holly, shout outs to him. He said, you got to tap into that petty then. But it doesn't, you shouldn't have to, don't worry about what people have to say about you.
Yeah.
Don't be out here trying to fight the whole world. You can't fight everybody. Let God fight your battles. And I believe in karma, because when you do stuff to people, it comes back to you times two.
Yeah.
And my mama always told me that you're going to have a conscience. And you sit there and you look in that mirror. If you hurt somebody or you mistreated somebody, baby, you ain't gonna be able to sleep at night, and you could be sitting here. And y'all seen the shows, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You got a good conscience on your shoulder,
Yep.
and the bad conscience, and it's one in your ear telling you, girl, you need to do this, and one, you need to do this, and it's like it's hard to decide. You got to do what's right at the end of the day. So that's what I would tell my 14-year-old self. A little long-winded, but
Wow.
definitely needed to be explained. Because at that age, I'm telling y'all, I'm calm now. And my girlfriend Felicia, she's still here watching. She knows how my temper was, because we both went to school together.
Okay.
And baby, I would be ready to fight. I remember this one time I stood up to a football player. This football player was basically 6'4".
Wow.
And little old me being 5'7",
Wow.
in my prime, standing up to him because he kept picking on me. I went over there to that table and I said, never again. I was looking over my shoulder. Like, okay, he's not coming to get me. I'm good. So yeah, at that age, I was off the chain. I was ready to fight. But now I've sort of toned down, mellowed down, because your actions can either get you in a good place or they can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So what is it worth? What is it worth losing?
That was incredible.
That's what you have to ask.
That was a good response to that one. That was a good response to that one. And very spot on. You said, like, not my teenage years. You said, like, my 14-year-old self. And that's important. That's important.
Everybody has some sort of issue. When they're bullied, they've been pushed into a corner. You got to kind of speak out. Don't use violence as the approach, because for me, like I said, I was ready to scrap. I was ready to fight.
Right.
Jump right up there. I didn't care how big or small you was. I was not backing down. That's that Scorpio. We're fearless about things.
Right.
So when you're in that moment, you don't think about the person's size. You don't think about the person's shape. But I know then I have enough sense to run instead of trying. Because that football player was big. He was 6'4".
Yikes.
So I was not trying to swing. I used my words. I didn't use violence, but I still was smart to check over my shoulder to make sure he wasn't coming behind me. So
yeah, but that was smart. But you got them together. So.
And never again throughout our high school years, up until junior, up until senior, he never bothered me. He never bothered me. We walked past each other in the hallway without any words, gave me a nod, and I was like, okay, yeah, I see you.
Yep.
You know not to bother me.
Right, I'm peeping you. You know better. Wow.
Little old me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I think I get that fearlessness from my dad, so I give credit to him for that, because my dad is so fearless. And my mom is just so brave. She likes to nurture. I get the nurturing from her.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of us, as we grow up into our adult years, we take something that our parents has taught us now into our adulthood.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's to nurture people. It's to nurture people, to help people out, and give people advice. And then that fearlessness, that speaking up for what's right, that saucy side, or the sassy or fiery side, I guess I get that from my father.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. I think in a perfect world, we both get those aspects, from our parents, or even the majority of our family. It's a little bit of them in all of us, as nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers, sisters. Just, it's a little bit of everybody within us, and I think we do get a lot of positive aspects, and we get some of the negative too. You can't have the positive without the negative. You know what I mean? And that's just honest. That's just life. And that's fair. That's fair. That's actually very, very fair. we get a mixed positive with the negatives from the people that we were raised by, from our parents, from our general family. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good thing. Now, like you said, is learning to control those, is learning to control whatever it is that might make you tick, or whatever it is that might make you go off the scale a little bit. But that's the responsibility of growing up, is understanding how to control that, understanding how to diffuse a situation, understanding, like you said earlier, how to use your words and not be physical. You know, and I've had to learn that a lot growing up. I've had to learn that because I got a bad temper too, and I snap off the rail quick. But as I've gotten older, I always tell myself, I don't even got the energy to deal with that, like, or to deal with it that way. And I don't even feel like it. You know how draining and exhausting that is? You know, I just don't, I'm not going to handle it that way. So if you want to holler at me, we can talk. We can definitely talk. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And my thing is this, I've heard someone say this before. Have a conversation instead of being so quick to respond to things. Because we're now in a day and age where people are so quick to give a response to something without sitting down and having a conversation with someone, jumping the gun to conclusions. And I'm guilty of that. I've done it in the past, but again, shout outs to my girlfriend Felicia for and others for being in my corner and let me know, like, we got you. It's okay. But know this, have a conversation with someone, and it's good to have people in your corner that are going to tell you the truth and hold you accountable and say, okay girl, you know what you did was wrong, you shouldn't have said that. And I have people like that within my corner that will let me know, like, girl, you out of pocket, this is wrong, you need to go back and correct this situation as a grown woman.
Absolutely.
Because you're not a little girl anymore.
Absolutely.
So, you know, the things I would do in my teenage years, you know, you could easily get a pass because, you know, you're young, you're dumb and young in the mind. You just don't know. But as you get into your adult years, oh, that's going to carry along with you.
Absolutely.
That's going to carry along with you.
And I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said have a conversation first. As I've gotten older, you know, I've been very proud that, you know, the certain growth aspects that I've had in my life so far as that type of stuff. And a lot of times, you know, I find myself just sitting back and just listening. I just sit back and listen. And I sit back and listen, but I've had to practice that. You know, I've had to practice that in my life, as opposed to being combative with people or argumentative with people. I've had to sit back and practice, just listen real quick. Just hear what they got, hear them out, whether it's in a relationship, whether you're dealing with a debate with a friend, your family, whatever. I sit back and I listen, and it makes me feel a lot better because now that I have listened and heard everything that you came at me with, I can now conjure up what I want to say in an educated manner. You know, it's well thought out. I know what I'm about to hit you back with. I know what my response is going to be, and that makes me feel good. But when you do get up from that table, you're like, damn, that felt great. I actually practiced what I was preaching to myself, or what was being preached to me. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing it.
And someone else said that this as well too. I'm gonna add on to one more thing, and then we're gonna conclude the interview. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the bubble or in the comment section. The art of silence. A lot of people, we have to master that. The art of silence. And I remember Yala Van Zant saying this as well too. She said we have to learn when to shut up. We have to learn to shut up and just sit back and take the advice that is given to us. And I am open to constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
You have to be open to receive it instead of being on the defensive end and wanting to chew everybody's head off. And that's how I was in my teen years. I was just like, nah, because when we're in our teen years, it's like, you can't tell me nothing. I don't want to listen. I'm rebellious. I got everything. I think I know it all.
Absolutely.
But now it's just like, okay, let's talk.
Absolutely.
I can sit down and I can talk with you and I can have a conversation and we can come in between and compromise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And once again, as we talked about earlier, that's growth. That's you know, maturity. Adulting. You know what I mean? The more things you do good, the better you feel on an everyday basis. you know. But
Absolutely.
helping people, practicing on yourself, you know, working on your ticks and your, you know, little things that make good. When I've practiced that, I feel so good when, you know, I've gotten into a situation and I'm like, wow, Okewa at 26 wouldn't have handled it this way. You know, but Okewa now handled this exactly the way I've been telling him to handle it if it ever came up. You know what I mean? And it makes me feel really, really good. It's like going to the gym. Sometimes I don't want to go, but after I go to the gym and I leave, I feel good. I feel accomplished. I feel like my time was well worth it and well spent. You know what I mean? You always feel happy and different after that type of, you know, after that type of event. So yeah.
All right, Fashion Dolls. I hope y'all took something from this conversation, these nuggets, these gems. Go ahead, okay, why you was gonna say something? I'm
Real quick,
sorry.
and shout out to you, shout out to your platform, shout out to this platform, and you know, your fashion blogging, and you know, all of the stuff you post and the interviews you've done with people. This is a hell of a platform. You tapped into some really quality people, and I wish nothing but the best for you continuously. God bless you. Good luck. I was so happy when you reached out to me and was like, hey, I would love to have you on my show. I'm like, me? You got all of these like names on here. And I'm like, me? So I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you for having me. I'm glad the time was able to work too, because I'm here on the West Coast and you on the East Coast. So,
Yes.
you know, I'm glad that the time was able to work and that we were able to do this. And this was incredible, man. I woke up at 7 a.m. today, like ready to go.
That dedicated. Wow.
I was ready to go. I was in the mirror practicing what I was going to say. How I was, you know what I mean? I ate breakfast, made my coffee, so I was ready to go. So I appreciate you for reaching out to me. This was incredible. This was very incredible. And
And
one
it
more
was
thing. I'm sorry. One more thing. So everybody that's listening right now, everybody that's watching right now, right? I have an original Instagram page, everyone. I have an original Instagram page. This is not my original Instagram page. This is my second page that I used when I was on tour to reach out to more people and follow more people, because you get a cap on Instagram. I think it's 7,500 of people that you can follow. I reached that cap with
yes.
my original page. Now, I was hacked. My original page has been hacked. So I want to go. I want to share this with everybody. My original page, which had 8,715 followers, has been hacked. So if anybody taps into you from that, if that page taps into you, that page reaches out to you, do not respond, report them, and block them. Or if you want to respond, if you're clever and you want to respond and mess with them, please do that too. But report them and block them. My original page is at Diddy Dominguez, no underscore. Just at Diddy Dominguez. Same name as this one, but no underscore. All one word, at Diddy Dominguez. So to everybody that's tuning in right now, if you want to go on that page at Diddy Dominguez and report them immediately, I beg you, please do, so I can get that page back. Because it's a lot of memories on that page. It's a lot of memories and a lot of positivity on that page that they are really compromising right now. So at Diddy Dominguez, same name as it is on this Instagram page, just no underscore, all one word, at Diddy Dominguez. Please report them so I can get my page back.
And we sure will,
Thank you.
100%.
Thank
I
you.
seen you post that, and yes, that has been happening a lot. That's happened with a couple of my friends that are in the industry,
And it's
that do their
unfortunate.
modeling and acting.
It's unfortunate because I have a lot of content on that page, from modeling to acting to dancing to my drumming, my religious work. It's a lot of positivity on that original page, and they're compromising that, and they're also tapping into my followers and messing with them, and it's harassment. So you know, if you guys could just go on that page at Diddy Dominguez and report it, I would greatly appreciate that. I would greatly appreciate that.
And we definitely will. Thank you so much for your time, Okewa. It's been an amazing interview with you. Had such a good time.
Thank you.
And for my ladies, me and my girlfriends might have to do it. Make sure y'all go and get the Chippendales calendar. This is the poster. And make sure y'all go and get a virtual show. You can get a virtual show, or you can go see the live show. Y'all please go and check out Okewa on Instagram. Follow him and make sure y'all report that page because there's been a lot of that going on. Y'all
Yeah.
please go and do that.
And I actually am I'm actually taking a break from Chippendales right now. I'll be back on that stage very, very soon. But it was my decision. It was my choice to, take some personal time when we got back on stage. As I said, I'm doing a lot of traveling. I have a lot of obligations that have been coming up all summer. So it's been great. It's been great. But please come and support us. Come check us out. Go to your closest and local Walmart to grab yourself a calendar that does come with that poster. So, continue to support the family, continue to support our company. And we're back on stage after 17 months. We're back. The grand reopening was incredible. And, our dreams came true again. You know what I mean? So it's happy to see the guys back on stage and to see us doing what it is that we love in front of the people, for the people, making them happy.
Yes. All right, ladies. Well, yeah, I might have to set up something for my birthday month.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Okewa, Garrett, thank you so much for your time.
I appreciate
And
you.
we definitely will be following up with you, supporting you 100%.
Indeed, man. Thank you. Thank you. Any casting directors out there, holla at me.
Definitely put it out there. Put it out there.
Most
All right,
definitely.
ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks
Coming
everybody for
up next,
tuning in.
we have our homie Jam is going to be here with my co-host Johnny. So make sure y'all tune in. Ladies